They came to kill federal officers. That's not a protest, that's attempted murder, which is...
What other response do you have?
We can post their identities online so that everyone could see the bigots that they are.
What other recourse do you have?
And a list of names is useless unless you plan to do something with it.
Some of us might have to learn some skills.
So it's about time we unite, get on the same page, and start fighting back.
This is the direct cause of Democrats inciting violence. Democrats saying we need to fight back.
All right, grace and peace, grace and peace. We've seen this. I'm sure you probably have heard about these ICE raids that are almost attempt ambush. And I'm sure you've seen it. And in Texas, there was 10, 12 people that were actually caught before they're able to execute their plan, which was to attack federal agents. And keep in mind, the federal agents are arresting and collecting up people that are bad for this country, but they don't care. They still just want chaos. So let's pull this in. I want to hear what you think about it. Down in the comments, please give me your 2 cents. This is such a wild story. Let's go.
Look at this crew. These 10 suspects caught planning an ambush at a federal ICE facility on the 4th of July. They came to kill federal officers. That's not a protest, that's attempted murder, which is exactly what they're getting charged with. So where's the outrage from the left? Where are the media headlines screaming about white supremacy and domestic terror cells? Oh, that's right. It doesn't fit the narrative because these suspects aren't Trump supporters. They're reportedly tied to Antifa, you know, the unofficial militia arm of the Democrat Party. The same people who spent years crying about the Proud Boys, telling us that January 6th was the darkest days in history. But now, nothing but silence? Because this is their side's violence. The truth is, Antifa has been protected, funded, and enabled for years. They're not some random activists. They were allegedly equipped with radios, weapons, armor, and even planned to lure officers into a kill zone. This was a coordinated attack. So where's the DOJ now? Where's the urgent press conference? Where's the demand to label this group a domestic terror threat? I'll tell you why it's quiet, because they're all liberal extremists and the system only cares when they can blame you. Am I wrong?
It was underreported for a reason, but some folks attacked an ICE facility the other day. The activists fired fireworks to lure the ICE officers out of the facility, and then someone shot the officers. Is that nothing but an open response from citizens against our government? Is that not a sign that the social contract is broken? That our government is at active war against its own citizens? Not the sort of war in the background that's been going on for decades with our lack of access to healthcare, affordable housing, and things like that. That's violent too. This is overt. The folks who planned this attack had full military gear. My question is, if your neighbors, your family, your community is under attack by the federal government, and there are people being shoved into vans, disappeared left and right without a trace, nobody can find them, you have no idea where they are, they could be in another country by now. What other response do you have? Government hasn't answered to being yelled at and having signs held in front of their residences. They haven't answered to phone calls and emails. So of course, when your voice goes unheard, the next thing to do is to get really loud. For the record, I do not endorse violence. However, when we see violence, it's important to contextualize it. When all you've ever known is violence, and then the government turns around and ratchets that violence up to a degree you've never seen before. When ruthless, masked, unidentified people come for your neighbors and loved ones. What other recourse do you have under a system which tells you to sit down, shut up, and wait for your turn to speak, and maybe you'll see change?
No,
this is not the last time this is going to happen.
This is crazy.
In fact, I would venture to say that half the reason this hasn't really been reported on and published in the media too much is because they're worried it's going to make people start thinking about doing the same thing. And if this incident and that potential domino effect isn't a sign of the very precarious place the American empire finds itself in at the moment, well, I don't know what else to tell you. The deterioration is quickening. And some of us might have to learn some skills we didn't imagine ourselves learning very soon.
It's being reported that
crazy.
People are calling in fake tips to ICE and luring them into alleyways where they ambush them with glitter bombs. With the idea being when the ICE agents take off their uniform, they're still going to have that glitter on them and it's going to make it easier to identify people. And while I think it's actually a pretty brilliant plan, I have to ask, then what? Liberals are saying just stay peaceful and identify as many cops as you can. Okay, then what? We can post their identities online so that everyone could see the bigots that they are. Okay, they already make that clear. So what now? These people are bigots in their personal lives. They don't give a and a list of names is useless unless you plan to do something with it. I just saw that ICE in LA just got the green light to, starting tomorrow, start pulling people off of public transport like buses and stuff. They aren't slowing down, they're ramping up. And Trump has made it very clear that LA is just going to be a blueprint for the rest of the country. Now we the people, we have the fire but we don't have the unity. We all have plans, but we're not on the same page. Obviously, red and blue MAGA aren't going to help us. They've made it clear that they're loyal to the empire. But for the rest of us, we need to get on the same page. I've said this a few times before, but it bears repeating. Every single day that we do not get our together and get on the same page, every single day that we do not fight back, every single day that we are complacent to the empire, is a day that the empire abducts, occasionally tortures, and deports innocent people, including children. So it's about time we unite, get on the same page, and start fighting back. And before any red or blue MAGA get in my comments, I don't give a f***. There's a reason I refer to y'all as loyalists. Because just like the royalists during the American Revolution, y'all simp for tyranny. Doesn't matter if it's red or blue. Fascism is still fascism. Just something to think about. And as always, we're not free until we're all free. That includes the people on Turtle Island. And from the river to the sea.
I don't care who the f*** you are. This is absolutely unacceptable. So 10 suspects were charged with 3 counts of attempted murder and 3 counts of discharging a firearm at the ICE facility, trying to kill ICE officers in northern Texas. How is this acceptable? This is the direct cause of Democrats inciting violence. Democrats saying we need to fight back. Democrats saying that this is not okay. We need to use strength power to do anything and everything that we can. This is not okay. You guys need to let them just do their job. It's not going to change now. Like, the fact that we're doing these deportations, it's not going to change. It's going to continue going like it did during the Obama administration, just like it did during the Clintons and the Biden. So just let it go. We voted for this. 77 million of us spoke up and we voted for this. Y'all lost, so now just shut up and sit down and just let us do our job.
Back-to-back ambushes targeting immigration officers in Texas.
Wow, this is
and the
insane.
Trump administration says Democrats' rhetoric is to blame for the uptick in violence. Democrats demanding violent confrontation and resisting the Trump administration. Some of them have suggested, Axios wrote, what we really need to do is be willing to, quote, get shot when visiting ICE facilities or federal agencies. A third House Democrat told Axios. Our own base is telling us that what we're doing is not good enough. There needs to be blood to grab the attention of the press and the public, the lawmaker said.
The ramped up rhetoric is going to cause a situation where someone loses their life. We saw that today. I was hoping I'd be wrong, but I wasn't. And I tell you something else. It's not the end. Unless we stop the hateful rhetoric against ICE and Border Patrol, comparing them to Nazis, there's going to be more situations like that.
Is it time to tone down the rhetoric here?
Well, Democrats have been calling for the rhetoric to be toned down for quite a while now. I would say even from January 6th, we've been calling for rhetoric to be toned down and also been in support of law enforcement. When we saw the Minnesota lawmakers unfortunately lose their life, that was a time where we called for Republican leadership and the President of the United States to call the governor of Minnesota to attend the funeral of the Minnesota lawmakers, to show unity at a time when we do have divisive partisan rhetoric.
All right, so you say that the rhetoric's been toned down, which leads me to this montage of what Democrats have actually been saying. Watch here.
Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the streets. They're in unmarked vans wearing masks, being shipped off to foreign torture dungeons.
People are terrified for their lives and for their neighbors, folks getting snatched off the street by secret police who are wearing masks.
And every single one of them, no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, will of course be identified.
10 people are facing charges for their roles in the shooting of an Alvarado police officer at an ICE detention center.
Investigators say it was a coordinated attack that ended when 2 people fired at police and unarmed corrections officers. Fox 4's Deion Anglin reports.
Though somewhat rare in the early
This is
stages of a
crazy.
federal investigation, authorities have shared booking photos of nearly a dozen suspects, images of weapons, tactical gear, and graffiti they say were part of a violent planned ambush at the ICE detention facility in Alvarado.
Clearly, the allegation is very strong.
That is absolutely insane. Wow, that is so wow. And I hate that Tom Holman is probably right. This is going to continue to ratchet up. We cannot allow ourselves to be so stoked into this political conversation that we lose sensible just our sense about us like that. That's insane. And we're watching people when all you can do is when you really get in your mind, hey, I got an idea. I'm going to attack police officers. I'm going to attack federal agents for doing their jobs. Yeah, that's a lap too far. That's a lap too far. Wow, man, this is absolutely totally insane. We can't allow this. We cannot allow ourselves to lose our sense, lose our humanity, if you will, and start attacking people because they're doing their job. And you can call it torture dungeons till the cows come home. They get deported. They're not supposed to be in the country. You're trying to make an apples comparison when there isn't really one. That's crazy. I want to know what y'all think about it, though. Leave me your comments down in the comment below. This is super weird, man. And we got to pray because I don't think this is going to probably tamper down. So we're going to probably see more of this. But man, prayerfully they'll continue to fail. Our men and women that are doing their jobs will continue to stay safe, and these clowns out here will not be successful by God's grace. But let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for liking the video and for subscribing, helping us hit our goal of 50,000 subscribers. I'm looking forward to celebrating with you all real soon. So until then, grace and peace.